Joining me right now to discuss tonight's Georgia special election, the Senate's efforts to repeal Obamacare, and much more, we have Republican strategist Mercedes Schlapp and Washington Times opinion editor Charlie Hurt. Both are Fox News contributors. Good to see you guys. All right.
Hi, Trish.
It's a nail-biter there in Georgia. Mercedes, what's your thought on what's going to happen here? Who's going to win?
Well, I've gotten intel on the ground that's basically saying that there's some encouraging signs. One is that they're seeing the presidential turnout, what we saw during the presidential election, favoring Republicans in this district. They're also saying that there's a sense that the Democrats are kind of running out of voters. Remember that Ossoff has positioned himself now to run as a moderate, which, as we know, he will be no moderate if he were to win this race. And so he's hoping to have these Republicans cross over to support him. But what we're seeing right now,
it though, can't they? I mean, they get a guy who's not even in that district, right? Who's coming in. He's a documentary producer, 30 years old. He's getting money from Hollywood and money from the likes of, all over the country right now.
Right.
Can't your conservatives down there, in a district that has historically been Republican, don't they see through some of that?
I hope they do. I mean, I think when you're talking about that over 7,000 donors came from California, he got $1 million from Planned Parenthood. I mean, let's be real. We know who he's going to align himself with. It's going to be with Nancy Pelosi. And so we have to see if this Nancy Pelosi effect, which they did use in these Republican ads, if it actually works in this election, in this special election. So I do think Republicans are feeling encouraged. But again, we still have a bit of a long night ahead of us to figure out what the results will be.
Okay, well, I think she'll probably pull through, but
I do too.
On the chance that she doesn't, Charlie, what will this tell Republicans? What message is it going to send to them, if any? Because, as Ed Rollins pointed out earlier, this is a special election, and special elections indeed are special, and you can't read a ton from them other than what, the media will try and read out of it.
Sure, I think that that's exactly right. But what the media reads out of it will be all that we hear about for the next couple of weeks, of course, unless she wins, in which case the media will move on to the next thing and find the next evidence.
Funny how that works, right?
Yeah, isn't it funny? I mean, every single one of the special elections that we've had up to now, each one was evidence that the Trump presidency was over and that it was that Republicans were doomed. And then of course the Republican pulls it out, or the Republican wins big, for example, and then the media, of course, moves on. I've never understood the concept of viewing this race in this district as some sort of referendum on Donald Trump. Donald Trump won this by 1 point. It's a very establishment Republican district. Mitt Romney won it by some 23 points. But it's not a Trump district. If for some reason these voters go against the Republican, and I agree with you all both, I don't think that they will, but if they do, that's not a rebuke of Donald Trump. That has nothing to do with Donald Trump. But I think
but what it is, Charlie and Mercedes, you can comment on this. The Democrats are looking for something, right? Their entire narrative has been, we are anti-Trump, and that's all they've been saying over and over again. And they're looking for new blood, new life, and some kind of good sign on the horizon. And this is, Mercedes, what they're looking to, and this is what they will play up if they win.
Right. The Democrats are looking for a psychological and moral boost right now if they were to win this election. And what's interesting to see is the fact that you've had Ossoff starting off by saying he would make Trump furious. That was his slogan, shifting away from that because the issues that were important for those constituents is that about jobs and the economy, something where President Trump is actually doing quite well in that area. But, again, as Charlie pointed out, this is a lot of establishment Republicans. I think they'll get the Trump base. But I think that Handel actually is more of an establishment Republican than she is a Trump Republican. So I think she does have an opportunity, obviously, to win this seat. I think for Ossoff, he is a test in the sense that for Democrats that are trying to win these swing districts come 2018, they're going to try to find these moderate Democrats or those who pretend to be moderates, because it's the only way that they could possibly compete and win in these swing districts. If they get like a Bernie Sanders in swing districts, that progressive message simply won't work, especially in the suburban areas.
Hey, Charlie, how late at night do you think it's really going to be?
I don't think it's going to be that late, actually. I think that I do think that we'll be surprised yet again that the media has completely missed the amount of support out there for Trump. And what I'll be looking for tonight is, has the media, have pollsters learned anything from the 2016 election. And I assure you
and
not.
that would probably help handle, assuming that holds true. Anyway, good to see you both. Charlie, Mercedes, thank you so much.